like I said, you get stupid shit like this, that Cobb Vanth, his first appearance was in Aftermath, a novel that we retconned in this thing that we're referencing. Or that Rey's lightsaber glows green, blue, and then ignites into yellow, like that's how she's all the Jedi, Where did she even get her crystal from? G'day guys, and welcome back to Raging Rhino. Alright, the other day I came across this little tidbit on Instagram and I had to take a screenshot of it and put it up on Twitter because I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Now, I have seen a lot of these things come up over time. There's of course all the little Star Wars facts and little Easter eggs and all these little things that come up. Sometimes you knew about them, sometimes you didn't know about them, and it's like, oh, that was interesting. The funny thing is I've noticed a difference in these from when it was actually Star Wars to Disney Star Wars. I do notice with a lot of the Disney Star Wars ones, it's more of a justification or a reasoning, or it's a pointless fact. It's like a stupid, ridiculous thing. Now, don't get me wrong, you do see some of them from the original Star Wars, but a lot of them are just little Easter eggs that are quite interesting and that sort of thing. So I thought that we could go through a couple of these things just so that you could sort of see where I was coming from with this. So of course we've got this one, and this was the one that I put up. In Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, Rey's lightsaber glows green, then blue, before igniting into yellow. And I think that's just so ridiculous. It's like, this is just their way of making something interesting, because if we know anything about the Kyber crystals, this wouldn't happen with the Kyber crystal. And I think it's their way of going like, this is how she is all the Jedi, as you can see based on what I've written in the tweet there. But I thought that was so stupid, like such a ridiculous thing. Like, who cares that it grows green, blue, and then ignites into yellow? And again, how does that even work? It's like, she's all the aspects of the Jedi. It's so fucking stupid. So let's just have a look at some of these. So you can go over to Instagram, and of course there's a page called Star Wars Facts, and you can go and follow that. And they're always posting things like this. Ben Kenobi's house was 84.5 miles, 136 kilometers away from the Lars homestead. Okay, interesting little tidbit. Not anything major. Then you got something like this. In this shot during the Luke and Vader battle in Return of the Jedi, half of Luke's face is in the light, with the other half in the dark. This was done to symbolize his upcoming choice to choose the light or the dark side of the Force. Again, just an interesting little tidbit, something that maybe people didn't know out there, that's why it was done like that. It's very symbolic, half of his face is in the dark, half of his face is in the light, and he is going through that dilemma and that choice. Another one. And I thought this was a good one. The planet Yavin has 26 different moons, but only 3 of them are habitable for humans. Another great little fact, if you didn't know that. The planet of Yavin has 26 moons, and only 3 of them are habitable for humans. Very interesting. Let's take a look at a Disney Star Wars one. Cobb Vanth featured in episode 9 of The Mandalorian. First appeared in Star Wars book series Aftermath. Yes, and I think that's quite interesting because what they did with The Mandalorian actually retconned his story in the book and how he actually got the armor. So that's a great little Star Wars fact there for you, for Disney Star Wars. Here's another one. One idea that was considered during early development of The Force Awakens was that the wreckage from the second Death Star would have landed on Jakku. See, I look at this and I go, that just makes me think that they're trying to use this to try and justify the Rise of Skywalker. We were always going to bring in a part of the Death Star. And again, I don't know when this was released, and I don't know if that was even true. But again, it's a stupid little fact. Disney Star Wars. Here's another one. The Rise of Skywalker takes place 67 years after The Phantom Menace. Okay, whoop-de-doo. And I know there are some ridiculous ones for Star Wars, just normal Star Wars, as well. For example, this one. Count Dooku was 83 years old when he was killed by Anakin Skywalker. It's, it's not really a piece of information that we really care about or anything like that. I'm sure people may have already have known that, but it's not something that's major. But when you look at that in comparison to like this one, or even this one, like, ridiculous. Let's have a look at this one here. Ewan McGregor had to keep the secret that he was returning as Obi-Wan Kenobi for around 4 years. Again, I don't know when this came out. I don't know if this is like him having to keep the secret recently about him coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. But again, a little tidbit that maybe people knew about. I thought this was a pretty good one. It took the Empire 22 years to construct the first Death Star. Another good little Easter egg, not really relevant to anything specific, but, you know, piece of information that wasn't too bad. This is another decent one. After Order 66, Senator Bail Organa was the only one who knew where Yoda and Obi-Wan were. To keep the secret, he even lied to the rebellion about it, saying that Obi-Wan was dead. Another interesting piece of information. Maybe people didn't know about that, and that's a nice little nugget for some people. Here's another Disney one. In an early draft, I think it's supposed to be in an early draft. In an early draft of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, director Krennic survived the Battle of Scarif, but then he would have been killed by Darth Vader afterwards. Again, that's probably maybe the most interesting one, but it's all got to do with like the writing and like this is what we would have done, or this is what we're doing to justify it, or it's like this is how long this movie took place between like this movie and this movie, or this time period and this time period. There's never really any like little Easter eggs or anything really of relevance. This is an interesting one. Lucasfilm is reportedly viewing J.J. Abrams' Star Wars 9 as a course correction for the franchise based on the recent failure of Solo. Like, what? Why is that a Star Wars fact? Like, I thought Star Wars facts were supposed to be about, like, interesting things. Like, okay, what's the distance between the Lars Homestead and where Obi-Wan are and things like that. It's a massive difference between them. Like something like this. The Darth Vader was able to use Force lightning, but couldn't as it would short circuit his mechanical parts and kill him. Like, that's an interesting little Easter egg. But, you know, like I said, you get stupid shit like this, that Cobb Vanth, you know, his first appearance was in Aftermath, a novel that we retconned in this thing that we're referencing. Or that Rey's lightsaber glows green, blue, and then ignites into yellow. Like, that's how she's all the Jedi, you know? Where did she even get her crystal from? Anyway, look, I just wanted to show you the difference from what we got from normal Star Wars to Disney Star Wars, and that they're trying to use things like Star Wars facts to justify or continue writing their stories. And it just seems to be one big justification after another, and the problem is when they do stuff like that, it opens up more questions. A bigger can of worms comes out of it. Because, you know, they're saying that her lightsaber can glow green, blue, and then ignite yellow. So how does that happen? Can you explain that to us now? Like we could explain how kyber crystals worked before? But no, they just think that this is some smart, intelligent way of making, you know, we've still made the Star Wars thing a little bit mystery and, you know, mysterious. And you've got to still find out these little Easter eggs from these little posts that we do. This is garbage. Absolute garbage. Star Wars is in one of the worst places it's ever been in. And I think it is worse than when The Last Jedi originally hit. Despite people's reactions to The Mandalorian, there's no hype for Star Wars. Everything gets overshadowed by things like the EU. You know, Knights of the Old Republic gets announced, but Star Wars Visions gets put in the fucking trash because of it. But yet then we find out that the person that's writing for that series is an absolute SJW feminist. I don't know where Star Wars is supposed to go from here. Again, I separate the two. You've got the expanded universe. That's Star Wars. George's Star Wars. Anything before he got rid of it is Star Wars. Anything after that is nothing. It's not. It's garbage. Like this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.